Imagine if you were a child and found yourself in the courthouse. Everything in your life has changed. Nothing is making sense. Even if your life at home was hard or rough, it was still home. It was what you knew, and now everything's completely different. So much is going on and things don't make sense. Your parents are gone and you don't see them much anymore. There are now new adults in your life, strangers. While nice enough and well-meaning, they're still strangers. Even when these changes are for your own good, it's still scary. Most of us learn at an early age that going to court means something bad. We have trouble wrapping our minds around such a scenario. The tragedy is that an abused or neglected child is here in court through no fault of their own. Unfortunately, cases involving hundreds of children end up in court every day.
Johnson, party's on Johnson.
Yeah.
Okay, folks, I need you to turn off your cell phones and pagers and be quiet. This is a court of law.
All right, we're here today on the matter of the Johnson children, case number 09-9999. Will the parties present please state their names in relationship to the case for the record?
Mindy Miller, Your Honor, FCCS Court Liaison.
Andrea Smith, Your Honor, Prosecutor.
Shauna Hennebert, Attorney for CASA.
Michelle Parks, CASA Volunteer.
Steve Wilkins, attorney for Mother, who is seated beside me.
Okay, what are we doing today?
Your Honor, the parties have agreed to proceed uncontested on the complaint.
Is that everybody's understanding?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, Mother wants to put this all behind her so that she can move forward and do what she needs to do for her children.
Thank you. I'll find that the Johnson children to be neglected and dependent children. I see from the complaint that the children ages 7 months, 5, and 9 were present during a domestic dispute between mother and her boyfriend. Mother was choked and severely struck numerous times by boyfriend. When the eldest sibling tried to intervene to protect the mother, the child was struck and suffered a bruise to his forehead. Recommendations for disposition, please.
Your Honor, I would defer to FCCS and CASA.
Ms. Miller?
Your Honor, we're recommending COPS at this time. Mother's been very cooperative with us and has even started her counseling, which will be a part of her case plan. We're going to continue to work with the family and check back in with them. We're also going to request, Your Honor, that there be a stay-away order on Mother's boyfriend, Mr. Lance Blendon.
Mr. Wilkins?
Your Honor, we are in agreement for the most part with the agency. We're fine with the COPS order. My client has been doing everything that FCCS has asked her to do. She would prefer, though, not to have a stay-away with Mr. Blendon because he is the sole provider of economic support for her and her family. In addition, he is incarcerated right now, and this was just a one-time occurrence.
CASA?
Your Honor, may I approach the bench with Ms. Parks' GL report?
Absolutely.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Well, I see that you're in agreement with COPS. Any thoughts on Mother's request that there not be a stay-away order?
Your Honor, without a stay-away order, I would not be able to recommend the COPS. This is not to punish Mother, but rather to protect the family. I understand Mother's economic concerns, but my understanding is that FCCS is linking her up with supportive services and that some of her relatives have actually called the agency and have stated that they're willing to help her financially so that the children stay out of the foster care system. They want the family to remain a family, which is really what everyone wants here today. Meanwhile, I have also learned through investigation that the domestic violence incident was probably not a one-time occurrence. During my visits with the children, they began to open up with me. They've told me that Mother's boyfriend, and this is a quote, that Mother's boyfriend likes to put his hands around Mommy's neck when he is mad. When Mommy does something that gets Lance really mad, he likes to make her get bruises. He does this all the time. I asked the children what were their wishes, and the children wished to be back home with their mother. They also wish that Mr. Blendon didn't live with them anymore because he is a mean man. I talked with the children's foster mother. She told me that the children keep asking when can they go home to their mother because they miss their school friends as well. I immediately put in a call to FCCS after my visit and relayed the new information I learned to the caseworker. From there, the caseworker did some further background. She called the Summit County Sheriff's Office because the family lived in Akron last year. She learned that there were some domestic violence calls and reports made to the police regarding this family. Your Honor, it is in the best interest.
Okay, folks, I told you to turn off your cell phones.
It is in the best interest of the children to return to mother on a COPS with a stay-away order on the boyfriend, Mr. Blendon. We recognize that mother is a victim of domestic violence and hope that her victims counsel will help empower her. I will continue to visit the children on a monthly basis, and the caseworker and I agreed to make some of our visits random and unannounced together so that we can make sure everything is all right. Thank you, Your Honor.
And thank you, Ms. Parks. Well, based on the information presented, I'm going to terminate the TOC and order COPS with a stay-away order on Mr. Blendon. Ms. Johnson, if Mr. Blendon tries to come back into your home at any time, you need to contact the police authorities immediately. The court doesn't want to hold you accountable for his actions, but you need to be proactive in the future. You need to call the authorities if necessary. Do you understand that?
I understand, Your Honor. I just want my kids back. My counselors helped me set up a safety plan, and I'll do whatever it takes to keep my kids.
All right. We'll set this case for review. You'll be getting a date outside. Thank you all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
In a perfect world, CASA of Franklin County would not exist. Without a guardian ad litem, how would the child's voice be heard in this confusing system? When a parent can't or won't care for a child, someone must speak up for that child, and a CASA GAL can provide a powerful voice in court for an abused and neglected child.